Welcome once again into YING Center, and today we're going to be looking a little bit more in depth at some of the animal hand forms, which come from Shaolin Kung Fu originally. So there are different major hand forms in different styles, and today we're going to focus on the main hands in Choy Li Fut, which is my main system. But I'll show you a couple of others as well at the end of the video. Okay, so let's first just take a regular fist, okay? So you got your regular fist. So now just take your thumb, put it on the side, so you get a flat fist. Okay, this is real good here on the back of the neck, smashing down to block when someone's coming in. Bang, bang. You want to try to use the power from your back. Okay, so this is like a vertical smash punch. So it's like we say it's like the trunk of an elephant. Okay, so it's always coming down, real heavy. Okay, nice flat fist. Then push out the knuckles so that you just have that half knuckle fist. Okay, just a half knuckle fist. Now, this one's a Panther fist. Okay, Panther fist. Twist in, flat, up like this way, twisting all the way like this. So the Panther fist, very useful for getting into small places like in the eye socket or underneath the ear. There's a vital point there. If you smash up into that vital point, believe me, that's pretty painful. Down into the throat. So you move in, bang, down into the throat. Twisting. So sometimes, let's say you want to, somebody has the guard, you want to twist around the guard and strike. This kind of thing is really useful. Now the Panther fist, what's really important, so eventually when you train a bit, you know, use a pad and stuff, this piece is going to become nice and strong. You could try doing push-ups on top of a cushion. So get a cushion or fold up your sweater or something. Try to support your weight on this fist. Now here, look at the thumb. So the thumb is pressing up against the index finger. This is really important because it supports the whole structure of the fist. And you see here in the wrist. So this whole structure basically becomes strong when you make the correct hand form. Now when you do this for a long time, then you see this muscle up here on the top, you know, that big fat one there. That's going to develop as time goes by when you practice this for a long time. So this is another thing with the hand forms. When you practice them properly, you're making your fingers and your wrists really strong. Okay, so all the structure here in the wrist all becomes really solid. And your hands, you see the muscles in the hands start to develop, and you even have bicep fingers, finger biceps. Okay, but it takes quite a lot of years of training, regular training, do the things properly. Okay. So the Panther fist, make sure the thumb supports the index finger. So we have just a flat style like this, flat style. And then we could twist like this, twist in, snap that back out, up to the eyes, down to the throat. Okay, so there's a bunch of different ways you can use this fist. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to take the Panther fist and we're going to open it up just a little so it becomes like a claw, but a very tight claw, you see? Nice and tight. Okay? So this, then we're going into the tiger claw, the Fu Jiao. Now this one has a double use, so we can use the palm, the heel of the hand, striking up, and then come down with the claws. Bang, okay, bang. So this has a kind of double impact. You can train the fingers. You can hang on something and see if you can manage to hang your weight on those claws. Now when you can do that, then you've got yourself a pretty deadly weapon. So if you think about a tiger's like, what, 800 pounds or something. So when it catches its prey, it leaps on it and hits it with force, basically hits it with weight, and then it digs in the claws. So that's how you should think about your tiger claw. It's a strike, but also a tear. Okay? And once these fingers are strong, then this claw has extra uses as well. It happens to fit very nicely behind the jawbone. You know, we have techniques where we can take out the jawbone, dislocate that jawbone there. But you need strong fingers for that kind of thing. So really work on the finger strength. You see all the ligaments in the back of the hand get really strong. All the muscle structure becomes really solid. And of course the support structure in the wrist has to be there too. Okay. Wow. So tiger claw. And then we're going to take the tiger claw and now we're going to lengthen it out. Make a nice round shape. Have the pinky point towards the thumb. See, so we get this nice long round kind of claw. So this is like a dragon claw, okay? Dragon claw. So this is not so much for striking, obviously, although you could use it to strike to soft places like in the groin, into the face. But again, once your fingers are conditioned and strong, okay? So the dragon claw is a very powerful grabbing implement, okay? Very good tool for grabbing. So if you block someone with the wrist, you can grab straight away. See, if you use your wrist bone here, twist out the wrist bone, we call it chu now, and then we grab with that claw, okay? So if you train this, at first it's going to be hard, it's going to ache, you know, because your fingers are not used to making this shape. But once you get used to it, then it gets really strong, okay? And then the other point about that is when you're gripping or grabbing, it becomes much more difficult for your opponent to get free because your hands are so strong. And then all the ligaments are working like steel cables, okay? So when we do chi na, which is like joint locking and attacking vital points, then having those really strong fingers, you know, that's a real useful thing. And for wrestling, of course, you know, if we're doing free fight or we're doing Shui Tiao Chinese wrestling, having that ability to grip really solid, you know, that's really important. So work on making the shapes. It's just like, you know, holding a couple of cricket balls or something, or a couple of baseballs if you're in America. You know, you could pick up a couple of rocks. This is how I used to do it when I was a kid. I had to pick up a couple of big round stones and then try to hold them and walk around with them all day long, you know, just walking around with these stones in my hands. Basically, you know, I tried to do it until basically my arm gave up and I couldn't hold it anymore. So, you know, you could try to do it for 5 minutes, just holding them out like that. Just get a couple of rocks, just hold them out, see how long you can hold them for. And then you'll start to feel that it's not only the fingers, but it's the whole arm, you know, all the way down, all the muscles on the top here. All of this all has to get strong, okay? So the entire structure becomes strong. And then it's a useful weapon. what you have to think about is, you know, your hand, when you're fighting, your hand's like a toolbox. And all the different fists, like if you look at some of the earlier videos, you'll see all the different ways to punch with the main fist. And then all of these animal forms, they just add tools to your toolbox. That's the way you should look at it. And if you develop those, yeah, then you've got a lot of useful tools for pretty much any given situation. So we're on a dragon claw now, okay? So dragon claw. Now, what we want to do now is extend it out even further. Just relax and bring all the fingers together, okay? All the fingertips. So our organization, the Plum Blossom Federation, so from my teacher, Grandmaster Doc Fai Wong, and our emblem is a plum blossom, a 5-petal plum blossom. So I say to the little kids, this is like making a plum blossom with your fingers, okay? So all of those together are all equal, yeah? So like equal like this. So this is a crane, the crane, okay? Now the crane, so this kind of hand form like this, we're going to use for hooking. Hooking, see? When we're close up, we might hook over, pull the hand away. Not in here. I could strike with this one with the back of the crane. Okay. Once that wrist bone is strong and conditioned, it becomes a very effective weapon. You know, into the cheekbone, up into the eye socket, under the chin. You know, that's a pretty solid. Once that's conditioned, it's a pretty good weapon. It's like having an extra fist on the back of your hand. So we can hook with this piece, we can strike with the back like that. And what we can also do with this is extend out those 3 fingers. And then we don't really need the thumb and the pinky there, they're just down there for support. See, we make it like a 3-point, and this is pretty long. So this is really good for like poking in the eyes, into the throat, attacking a particular vital point when you're up real close, something like that. So this is a extended crane beak, we say. See, so just go into the eyes. So I might step away. As you come in, I might step away, cover with this hand, and pop you in the eyes. Okay, so the crane, hook in, strike in with the back. We can also block, obviously, with that. We could block there and hook there. So say 2 punches came in, I'll block one there and hook the other one there. I'll show you that sometime in an application video. You know, it's just using the different parts of the crane. You see that a lot in the classical, you know, in the old Chinese kung fu movies. They used to use a lot of, you know, crane technique, a lot of tiger. That's when they're back in the day really trying to promote the traditional kung fu styles. So after the crane, then now we want to extend out all the way. So we're going to take that crane and extend it out all the way. And then we want to make a little bit of an adjustment, because this joint, the last joint of the middle finger is a weak joint. So what I'm going to do here is cross over a little bit with my index finger. So this becomes pointy and stronger. The index finger is going to support that last joint. And then I want to close up my thumb a little, so it's nice and tight. See, everything really tight. And then this obviously becomes snake. So we can use this for poking. This is a very fast hand to use. We can also use the edge of the hand, you know, various techniques. And I always say to the kids in the school, we don't want any talking snakes, okay? So the mouth has to be closed. So be careful of that. If you don't think about it, that thumb will tend to hang a little bit. And of course you could snap that off, you know, if you try to strike somebody. So keep that nice and closed. Cross over the index finger and just practice poking this out. See, just like a cobra would strike. So very relaxed, and then a point of impact, and then relax again. Okay. very fast hand. Okay, so, and again, it needs some training. The fingers need to become strong. Get used to the impact. You know, it takes some time. Just take your time with all of these, okay? So, I'll just run by them again. So we got the elephant with the thumb on the side. Extend out to the panther. Open up the claw to the tiger. Extend the claw out to the dragon. Bring the fingers together for the crane. And then extend out for the snake. Okay? And there's a couple of others, you know, you see, not in Choy Li Fut. Well, we do have the monkey in there. We have a monkey form, which just really mimics the actions of a monkey. Then you have the eagle claw style, so that's more of a three-finger claw. That's a different style from the Shaolin styles. You got your mantis, which comes in the Shaolin system. But we don't have that in Choy Li Fut. But these are the main ones, so practice those, and we'll do an application video later and show you how to put some of those into action. Remember to train the hands really well. Really feel the muscles in all the fingers. Try and train the energy right all the way to the tips of your fingers. Okay, and this is going to make sure also when you get old you don't have arthritis. You're going to have strong hands. Okay. Train all those, keep the fingers flexible, keep the hands flexible, you know, do this kind of stretching for the thumb onto the wrist, stretch up the fingers, you know, get everything nice and flexible, okay? And then build up the strength, and then you'll have yourself a really good toolkit to work with, okay? I'll see you in the next video. If you didn't subscribe, you can do that down there. And if you have any questions, send them to our Q&A address, which is this one right here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.